Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone. Yes. Hi, Billy. We're here again on this podcast. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm great, and I want to wish everyone a happy Chinese New Year, this
Yes,
firing horse of the year of the horse, the Lunar New
exactly.
Year,
Mm-hmm.
and a happy Ramadan to our Muslim friends as well.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
Likewise,
right.
likewise.
How are you going, June?
Doing great. I'm actually excited for this podcast. Okay. Are you excited also about the
Yes, I'm
podcast?
doing good. In fact, in the past few weeks, I've been yes, regularly, not only through the podcast, I'm sharing a lot of good awareness in the
Mm-hmm.
renovation industry, especially helping fellow interior designers as well as homeowners who seek help and support. We are here, as an experienced industry player myself. I'm
That's
here to
right.
guide as well, if
Wow.
anyways.
Very
Mhm.
busy, as always. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
All
it
right.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
Anyways,
passion
that's
that always drives us. Yeah. It's a
true.
passion and interest, of course, in interior designing, right?
Mm-hmm.
As this Reno Protect, our channel is all about. It's only with passion and interest we can do more things together and see what we can benefit and help one another. Yeah, together as a team. The teamwork really helps a
Definitely
lot,
agree
right?
with you, Billy. Yes, the passion
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
our fuel, right, for
Yep.
this podcast and everything that we do, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
What do
Thank you
we have
for
today?
today.
Yes, let's
Actually,
have.
it's really an interesting topic because the first three or the last one that we had is about meeting the interior designers, right? So now
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna talk about how are we going to start from there, because we met the ID. We love the mood board. I'm representing the homeowner here, and the
Mm-hmm.
chemistry is there,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then they gave you a
Mm-hmm.
10-page document across the table and say, just sign here. So, Billy, is this where most homeowners like me make their biggest mistake?
It comes to the formality of the signing of the contract, is the
Correct.
most important kickstart of the
Uh-huh.
renovation.
Mm-hmm.
They have to really see the words, the fine print, and all. I think importantly, usually for contracts and the quotation turn into contracts, uh, a few things must bear in mind, like the descriptions have to be clear and not vague. So things like, for example, what I mean is you have to have the description of the item together with brief details of, like, example, the size. Sometimes the size comes in per foot run or per square feet or even per meter square or per meter run, right? And also on the materials and colors used. So good to tag on along the descriptions to it, but not only the price. So sometimes homeowners have to really take note of these basic fundamental descriptions within an item itself. Yeah, that is very important. Yeah, so that they won't be caught off guard, and sometimes he say we say differently. You see,
True.
as brief as possible with the details. Yes, not to be too lengthy. Of
Yeah.
course, it will be supported with supporting documents like drawings,
Mm-hmm.
supporting details, information attached to it. The ID can able to do that as well,
Okay, so it's
right?
great that you mentioned
So,
about details,
yep.
Billy, on the contract, because that's the next question that I want to ask from you. Like, what are
Mm-hmm.
the I don't know, the words of doom that we should look for, or probably what makes you say to the home, or what's the sign, to the homeowner, like saying, "Stop, don't sign this."
Yeah, when the homeowner sees the quotation is very blunt
Yeah.
and vague, as I mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
um, it prompt questions, right? Like, what
Correct.
is this price all about? And when the contracts or the quotation mention just like a few bundle items together at one price, so this is
Ah,
called lump sum.
yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes homeowners may see their contracts having a few items within one price at a lump sum. That is a no-no
Oh.
hint to the homeowners. Yeah. So it could be equally dangerous if you when things happen along the
Mm-hmm.
way and it doesn't include this and that. So for example, I can share with the audience now
Mm-hmm.
to do. a wooden flooring,
Yeah,
let's say,
wooden
um,
flooring.
that is the basic one price. Let's say a $2,000. So if the homeowner doesn't question and ask on what does this wooden flooring comprises of, maybe it doesn't include workmanship, the finishing. Let's
Mm-hmm.
say the wood flooring is an natural wood. It have to be of some finishing, like the
Mm-hmm.
lacquering or the coloring,
Yes.
also protection, and whether labor and materials are involved.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the things that have to be spelled out and expanded in the quotation, as I mentioned
Wow, I'm
earlier
learning
today.
here. Mm.
So it is actually a sign that if the contract is very simple and and it have to be vet through with the ID themselves, to be
Oh,
proper and all,
okay. So you're
right?
saying here, Billy, that
So
if
that
it's
that
not,
is what is needed to take
uh-huh,
note.
uh-huh,
Mhm.
got it. So you're saying here, Billy, that if it's not on the paper, it doesn't exist. So it should be like very explicit, not only a bundle of something, of some materials. We should really ask, what are these materials? Correct?
Yes, because
Mm-hmm.
in the renovation, you will require the design of the material, the pattern, the texture, and also the color, right? So
Correct.
it's good to mention this basic information
Mm-hmm.
of each individual item in the quotation.
All right.
So the more the merrier, of course, but also not to be too lengthy and too detailed, informative. That can be happen to with an attached document along the way through the discussion of the design. Of course, the
Uh-huh.
designer have to go through the few rounds
Mm-hmm.
of detailed discussion. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
is okay. Right. So
Okay.
for a start, you have to start it right. Yeah, start it
Mm-hmm.
right is very important to
Mm-hmm.
know what you're in for. At
Mm.
least you there's no much misunderstanding
That's
to
so
minimize
true.
misunderstanding.
To minimize at least,
But
yes.
actually, Joan, yeah, I felt that homeowners may not know what they don't know, right? As I we mentioned the
Exactly.
first
In
few
the first,
episodes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We don't know the
yeah.
terms.
So the ID, looking
Yeah.
at that, the interior designer or the main contractor have to let the owner know what they should know of. So it comes two ways. I feel that if there's a middle person professionally involved in the renovation, like me myself as an advisor, to
Mm-hmm.
kind of fine tune to align the homeowner understanding with the interior designer, and vice versa to align the interior designer to really let them know what the customer don't know of. So
Mm-hmm.
both will understand well together, so that is the key that we want to achieve, I think, over what our channels are all about. You see,
Mm-hmm.
to protect the renovation is not only one-sided. We have also to ensure the interior designer understands well and the homeowner also understands well. So the contract have to be neutral and it cannot
Mm-hmm.
take sides, right? So the
Correct.
contract or even the terms and condition have to be met out clearly for both sides of the party. Times, I think it's a one-sided contract agreement whereby the interior design companies has to them, but it's actually a bit disadvantage to the homeowners if audience can agree with me. So
Uh-huh.
that's why many of times homeowners are kind of taken advantage of. I think
Oh.
those terms and conditions may not be neutral, and they are sometimes biased to the companies. Definitely I understand why, because it's of the interest from the companies. But I think in the renovation, especially in Singapore context, it's all about the homeowner's home. End of the day, the homeowner have to live in happily and comfortably and safely. So some of the terms and conditions have to be very neutral and impartial in between, to
Mm-hmm.
ensure that the homeowner are in for a very happy renovation and a smooth sailing one. So maybe in the next few episodes, we can share
We
about
can
some
talk.
of the good guidelines and understanding that homeowners and the interior designers both can come together to a mutual understanding, right? And they agree amicably. That is the best we can hope for, right?
Actually, it's very brave
Yep.
of you, Billy, to say that, I mean, it's very honest to say that, at some
Mm-hmm.
point there should be a mediator to help, right? To, make everyone work together. So it's not it shouldn't only be biased with one party. It should be for the contract should be biased for both parties, right? So that's good. I like that. By the way, speaking Billy of contract, going back to the
Yes.
contract that we were talking about, right? Um if for example, let's go to the payment side. Because this is what I'm very curious about. Some IDs would ask for 50%.
The payment
Yeah, the payment
schedule,
terms.
right?
Yeah, 50%,
Yeah.
70% upfront. So, what is really the normal way of paying? Like, how many percent do we really have to pay first?
Wow. Wow, you can see now we're coming to something firm up, more concrete.
I know.
As Joan has mentioned, yeah, indeed, I'm a renovation expert in this field for many years. And
Mm,
of course, I'm still learning. It's a lifelong learning journey. And
true.
with this, recently I took on mediation. So because of the mediation approach that I'm having, I name myself as a renovation mediator. So,
Wow.
in the next few episodes, we can know more about what I do and exactly what we are here for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, this few rounds of sharing is all about the industry knowledge. A part of
Yes.
the players, they have like 10 pages or few pages of the terms and condition with
Yeah.
about 50 to 80 liners of the terms.
Wow.
But on the other
That's
hand,
a lot.
some companies, they may have only a page. Yeah, they maybe have a page only, like less than
Uh-huh.
10 liner of the terms and condition. So these
Yeah.
two are great differences. They are very great contrast. That's why I feel that we have to have an alignment at least to be, more or less average out on the terms and condition understanding needed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
talk about the payment terms. I believe we should separate it progressively and align them within like 4 to 5 payment terms is a good practice for
Mm-hmm.
companies and the homeowners to on board with. For
Okay.
instance, we talk about some of the common practice, 10% to 20% of the deposit,
Yeah.
right? That will be the confirmation stage, whereby the
Mm-hmm.
designer will do the design and all the materials selection and execution of the comparison of the all the discussion.
Mm.
So the second payment will be about another 30 to 50%. That means up to 50% of the payment upon start
Okay.
work. So
Mm-hmm.
that is quite a common practice for most of the reliable interior design companies because
Yeah.
that first 50% up to that is for companies to reserve and order materials and all the necessary supply and the workmanship to prepare for start work, right?
Okay.
As we advance throughout the renovation, the other 30 to 40% will be doing it progressively and up to the last payment of the 5 to 10%. That's a usual practice. So it varies. Yes, it varies. 5 to 10% complete upon
Uh-huh.
completion, or the start 10 to 20% upon confirmation. So that is a guide to start and end with. But during the renovation, the few
Mm-hmm.
different percentage, it can varies depending on the milestone of the project, right?
Yeah.
So they have to map out and spell out why the company have can justify that 20%, 30%, or 40% of the milestone, right? And
Uh-huh.
it has to be agreeable on both sides amicably.
Mm-hmm.
Together with the all these terms of the payment, I
Mm-hmm.
think the timeline, the timeline of the reno schedule is very important. So when the renovation schedule comes in together with the timeline, it makes sense, right?
Yes.
Why at this milestone they have to pay this because of a weekly progress, because of
Correct.
up to the certain milestone of the works,
Mm-hmm.
the stone, the tiles, the carpentry are done. That's why they need to collect up to that 80 or 90% of the
Yeah.
overall payment.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. So all these come hand to hand together.
Mm-hmm.
And as I mentioned, the maybe 50 to 80 liner of the terms and condition have to be spelled out one by one to the homeowner. I think it's a very arduous job, task to do. I
Yeah.
believe,
Who would read that?
yeah, yeah, who read that, right? Sometimes if the homeowner reads that, I think it will take him or her a few days to digest.
Exactly. You'll
So
get a headache after reading those 8 pages.
yeah,
Mm.
so here I am actually coming to this. I'm in the midst of forming some guidelines, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, of industry practices, good
Uh-huh.
industry practices. So these guidelines are like the terms and condition. It could be a common understanding whereby both parties can come together to agree with. In Singapore, I think case trusts have certain guidelines to that in the contract. But I think for that case trust organization, the organization, they are just doing a very surface kind of understanding.
Mm.
To go in depth with a renovation requires more spell out by in terms of technicality,
Uh-huh.
a technical understanding of the how to go about with the tiles when you handle with carpentry, when you handle with paint works, what you should look out for. So this can be, I think, refined through a neutral understanding in future
Mm.
to come. Yeah, I
Wow, I'm actually
think that would be good
learning,
to share with
Billy, from
in the
your
future.
from our podcast today. There's so many things that actually needs to be thought about. Yeah. Maybe our homeowners would really
Yep.
benefit from this. They could even write it down like what you have said earlier. And I know you will be sharing more experiences, right? In our future podcast episodes, which you have mentioned earlier. Now, coming down to the last part of our podcast. Okay. So, what is your golden nugget, for homeowners or for IDs as well, when we talk about contract?
Okay. One golden nugget for today is don't rush into a renovation contract.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, uh, be vigilant and do a due diligence to ensure the words are favorable to both parties, of course, to you yourself as a homeowner. The description, the materials information, and the price makes sense to you. Yeah. Or check
Wow.
with a another advisor like me from
Yes.
the industry or another experts. We can share some experience with you. Yeah, or a fellow homeowner which you may have. I think one best golden nugget is to know that your friends or your relatives or whoever you know of has just recently done a renovation. It's good to
Correct.
share experiences as well.
Wow, that's
Yep,
a very
before you
good
sign.
advice. So again,
Mm-hmm.
don't let the excitement of a new home blind you to the fine print. Yeah. So, anyways, join us next time. Yeah, next meeting when we talk about what happens when the first wall comes down, and also Billy's role, right, in all this
Right.
in all this process. So we are excited, Billy, to hear more from you. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much it for today. Thank you, Billy, again for sharing your expertise, for sharing your
Thank you.
experiences, and for teaching us also, giving us some golden advices. Thank you so much. So have a great and
Thank
wonderful
you,
day,
June.
Billy, and to everyone.
Thank you,
Bye. See you on
everyone.
the next
Bye
one.
bye. See you.